Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Dan Stevens Show. Viewers and listeners, hope you're keeping well, hope you're doing well. I am very tired, and don't let that put you off, because what I've learned that means on this podcast is that anything can come out of my mouth when I'm tired. It's currently after 11 p.m. on Thursday the 14th of May. This episode will be out at 5 a.m. on Friday morning, so in like 6 hours or something. We're basically live here. I've just come off the back of a Brighton comedy festival stint, a lot of hours on stage, and I just did 2 nights in Austria. I'll dip into that a little bit. I was in Linz and Salzburg. Linz is the favourite city of, as they call him over there, the Charlie Chaplin lookalike. Know what I'm saying? Put it this way. There's not many people with moustaches over there. And the ones who do, they're usually like triple the size. Alright, you get where I'm coming from. I don't want to say his name, because I don't know. You just never know with Spotify. A lot of people do that though, don't they? They're like, my podcast is getting deplatformed and shadow banned because I said a certain word. No, it's because it's shite. Anyway, I will say I am very tired. I've been on the go. But what that means for this podcast is that usually it just becomes more unfiltered and possibly unhinged. The topics for today's podcast are: I was on a drip this morning. Also, I swallowed my chewing gum and I didn't realise that wasn't normal until earlier today. Next topic: I'm not ashamed to be Irish, but... And then a little bit about dancing being weird. I might not even talk about that. It's weird. It's just this feeling I get sometimes. We're going to get to them. Please follow on Spotify if you haven't yet. Please just do it. I think I figured out that I have a lot of very laid back, relaxed listeners and viewers to this podcast. And that's what I'm like. I hope that's the type of people I attract. Some of you may use this podcast to fall asleep. I had an audience member fall asleep in Brighton while I was performing my jokes. I take it as a compliment. She was quite drunk as well. So yeah, please do that. That would be great. As I say, a lot of people are listening, not many are following, so if you're not following yet, please do that. That'd be great. If you can donate the price of a cup of coffee as well in the episode description link, that would be great. Anyway, let's get into it. So, it's always, to me, the term, when you hear someone saying, for example, I'm going to use my own name for an example. Like, say in 30 years' time, someone's talking about me and they're like, oh, did you hear Dan Stevens is on a drip? Never good, is it? Did you hear old Mrs. Stevens is on a drip? Oh, not a drip. You can't be serious. Don't tell me that old Mr. O'Connor's on a drip, is he? The old devil's on a drip. It's never a good sign, is it? But all a drip is that it's just dripping water. Well, maybe you go on a drip because it drips like down from the bottle, doesn't it? And then the thing is injected into you and it's dripping out of the bottle and into your body because you can't drink because you're on a drip. Is that right? But to be on a drip is never a good sign in Ireland. No one's ever in a good condition on one of them. But let me tell you, this morning I had a few pints last night with Eddie Malarkey and Paul Marsh, the two comedians I travelled with. One runs the Crackdown Comedy Club. He's a brilliant guy, great comedian. And Paul Marsh is also a great comedian. He runs a lot of gigs. He was on the podcast a little while ago. Firefighter comedian. Anyway, I woke up this morning and I had a 1.5 litre bottle of water. And I knew with the hectic last couple of days of travelling on trains and just being on tight timelines everywhere, for 2 days in Austria, I didn't have enough water in me. So I was laying in a little bed that Paul Marsh had booked accommodation. Great, very well organised trip. And I said, I'm going to put myself on a drip. So this is what I did. I'm going to try and do it with this, but it was a 1.5 litre bottle of water. It's similar to this kind of a setup. So if you want to put yourself on a drip, if you feel like you're dehydrated, you just do this. Watch, you can control it, you see, right? If you just, for the listeners, I'm just putting a bottle of water in my mouth and I'm looking up towards the sky with a bottle of water in my mouth. I don't know how this is going to go. Oh, didn't go well. Oh, you have to be lying back, I think. But the idea is you just go on a drip. Watch. Hold on, I'm going to try it again. I'll get this by hook or by crook. That's hook or crook for the American listeners. Come on. Right, we're going on a drip here. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it now. You get the idea. You get the idea. If you want to go on a drip, you just put a bottle of water in your mouth, preferably a plastic bottle, because this is a glass bottle. That wasn't easy. And you just control how much is dripping in to, hydrate yourself. I did that. I did 1.5 litres of water this morning. Just let it drip every few seconds, let it drip. Don't overwhelm yourself. Don't drown yourself with it. But just do that. Put yourself on a drip. Then you're just hydrated then. It's great. But that's a different type of drip. You never want to hear that someone's on a drip in Ireland. Poor old Mrs. O'Sullivan's on a drip. Anyway, that's enough about the drip. It's just been in my head all day. As I say, I'm tired. It's unfiltered. Who knows what's going to come out. Next thing, I chew a lot of chewing gum. I have a extreme aversion to bad breath. I've experienced bad breath in the past and it is horrific. If someone has bad breath and they're talking at me, because it's not talking to you anymore if there's bad breath, it's just talking at you, because I'm not listening anymore. If you're hitting me with that pongy breath, I can't think, I can't function. All I can do is go, right, I need to get away from this person right now. So I think with experiences that I've had with dog breath in the past, it's made me not want to inflict that upon anyone else. So I always carry chewing gums. Whatever the health effects of them are, I don't care. It's worth it to not have smelly breath. I brush my teeth regularly as well. But I don't know the exact time that toothpaste lasts when you brush your teeth in the morning. After about 2 or 3 hours, I'd be like, I hope I'm alright here. I believe it's called dental hygiene. So sometimes I'm in a situation, sometimes I'll put the chewing gum in the bin. I'd say about 50% of the time. But about 50% of the time, I'll swallow the chewing gum. Look, it hasn't affected me yet. I'm not on a drip. I'm not. People say it gets stuck to your guts for like 7 years. Few people have said that. Or for your whole life. I don't know. Maybe I have chewing gum lung. I don't know, but as far as I'm concerned, I've always believed that if anything, chew the chewing gum, leave a bit of flavour in it, and your shit will smell better then. That's just as plausible as saying that it gets stuck to your guts somewhere. I'm out here doing minty shits, you know what I mean? So Don't be judging. Leave a bit of flavour on it. Swallow it. Let it do its thing. It's not going to make it smell worse. Know what I'm saying? So, I don't know which is... Maybe it just dissolves in your stomach acid. I don't know. Maybe it gets stuck to your guts. I don't know. But what I've always believed to be the most likely scenario is that when you chew chewing gum and you keep a bit of flavour in it, it makes your pop-ups smell better. Alright. You can give your opinion on that. And as I say, I think I have very relaxed viewers and listeners. They don't comment on anything. A couple do, a few do, and they're great, and I appreciate that. But mostly that you just listen and you just, probably fall asleep or you just get on with your day. Hopefully you're in a better mood after it. That's what I hope. I don't talk about things that make people angry. It's just, maybe you might have known someone that was on a drip. I don't know, but I don't usually get aggressive thoughts about politics or anything like that, so that serves me well. I don't like being stressed. I don't like that at all. So I don't think about things that get me stressed. Okay, so here's something that I've noticed over the years. Is that anytime... Let me put it a bit differently. I'm not ashamed to be Irish, but it does feel really nice when I get mistaken for another nationality. It does. Come on. If someone thinks I'm Swedish or any of the Scandinavian countries, I'm secretly delighted. I'm like, oh no, I'm Irish. But, thank you. Even American, because they have a very diverse range of looks of people, and anything really Canadian. People say Canadian trucker. I'm like, oh, just stop. And I don't know if that's... I don't have any particular allegiance to wanting to look like anyone from any particular country. But I think it's just that I'm like, right, I have been reassured that I don't have like an Irish head on me. I saw a few Irish heads on the plane over to Vienna the other day, and you just see them on planes. You can't get away from them. I was trying to figure it out what exactly it is. You hear comedians talking about the Irish head and how it's unmistakable. And I don't know what it is, but I was looking at a head. I got a good look at a fella's head, the shape of his head that was on a plane. He was standing up after the plane landed and waiting for no reason. You know the way people do that? It's just, the plane is just coming onto the runway. They stand up, wait to get off for no particular reason. Anyway, this guy... I figured out, I think it's bone structure mixed with redness. There's a redness sometimes. There's different types of Irish heads. Some of them are really ruddy, like really kind of purple, but they're happy, They might have a little moustache or something. And then you have ones that are almost see-through, and either of them, some of them, I think the ones that have the really dark purple kind of heads that look like they're about to explode, I think they're the big drinkers. And then you have the really pale ones who don't get enough sunlight or vitamins or whatever. But this fella was studying the shape of his head, and it was just a lack of bone structure. There's kind of no definition. It's just sort of there's no cheekbones. The cheekbones are kind of just sunken. They're kind of just sunken in, and there's nothing over the eyes. It kind of just goes, and it's too small. It's just kind of sometimes a bit deformed, I think, and I don't know, is it because we're a small island? Is that why? Of course, I'm not talking about every Irish person. There's some very funny ones, That's how we... Like I heard Eddie Malarkey saying in his stand-up set that we survived by being charming and funny. It is the only way we survived. It wasn't our looks, put it that way. But that's how we evolved, and that's what we have. So, yeah, when someone sees me and says, "Oh, I didn't think you were Irish," it's the ultimate compliment. Sorry, but it is. I don't know what country could be an insult. Maybe if someone was like, "You didn't look Irish, like I thought you were from Chernobyl," then I'd be kind of like, "No, I'm Irish." Yeah, no, I'm Irish. Yeah, no, I wouldn't feel good about that one. Just a little bit bad, though. Yeah. Or where else? Scottish. Scottish, yeah. I mean, Scottish are like all or nothing, aren't they? Most of them just look normal, or else they have like a big head of red hair and a big massive beard or whatever. Australian's great. I love when I get Australian. You look like an Australian rugby player. Oh, do I? No, I'm Irish, but thank you. It's a vanity thing. It's a confidence. It doesn't happen often. I've got also, it's on the other end of the scale. I've gotten Richie Kavanagh, the old Irish country singer. You get Brendan Grace, just fisherman mixed with a trucker mixed with Santa Claus. That's what I've got before. This is what happens. It's fine. I'll take it all in my stride. I don't mind. I am who I am. So yeah, as you can probably tell, I'm tired, but it's all coming out now, isn't it? Okay, the last subject. Dancing is weird. It's just, I'm sorry. And I think TikTok has radicalized me into thinking like this, but dancing is just weird. When you see it with no sound, it's just like people moving their arms in a particular. Yeah, I know it's to the rhythm of the beat or whatever, but and it's maybe aesthetically pleasing because it represents some sort of rhythm. I think we like rhythm because our hearts beat and it matches your heartbeat and it's soothing. But dancing is just, people put so much, it's just passion into it, don't they? And they're like doing all these movements and jumping and doing cartwheels and stuff, whatever. And I'm just like, I can kind of do that in my head. I think I dance inside. I'll hear a beat and I'll just be like, yes. Song that I like. Maybe if I listen to Discover Weekly on Spotify and I hear something straight away, I'm like, oh yes. I don't need to dance. I don't need to do that. I just know that I like it. My head kind of starts buzzing a little bit. I have danced in the past. There was a time when I was on a date with, I was dating this Romanian girl for a while, and she was extremely extroverted when it came to dancing, and she made me go to a nightclub one night, and she was just very good looking, and that's why I went. I wanted to, I had to do, whatever, sniffing around her, Yeah, I'll go to the nightclub, of course. I love nightclubs. You know what you're trying to do. I knew what I was at, but anyway, we go into this late bar, of course, down to the dance. All I wanted to do was drink pints. I was just, no, a bar. I was like, I'll go to the bar. No, dance with me. Dance with me. I'm like, oh, I don't want to, like. And she's giving it loads, like, she was waltzing around, jumping around the place, knocking into people, knocking their drinks over. I was like, no, will you stop? She didn't care. She just thinks she can just dance around and just knock into people and knock their drinks out of her hands, and it's because she's dancing that means that she's great or something. You can't just be dancing around and bumping into people. Oh, but she's expressing herself. Yeah, well, maybe some people are expressing themselves in different ways and trying to have a drink, and you're knocking her out of her hands, and then I have to, I have to clean up the mess after you. Sorry about that, mate. Yeah, she's a dancer. I'm like that then, kind of just trying to get through. I'm like, I hope she doesn't like the next song. Jesus. Let's get out of here. Because we were going back to her gaff after, I think then the next song hit and she loved it, and I was like, oh no, another like 3.5 minutes of this. You drink too much. Why you want to go to the bar? Because I'm in a fucking pub. That's why I want. Because there's a bar there. That's why I want to go to the bar. Because there's a bar there. This isn't even a dance floor. You just make it your dance floor. Because you're a narcissist, and that's why I broke up with her. I didn't. I think she. I got her. She. I'm too picky. I think she was shedding too much. There was loads of hair, like an abnormal amount of hair in the bed when she. Anyway, I'm not gonna name her or anything. Honestly, that I am very picky, right? I remember she stayed over at mine one night, and there was like it looked like a full wig in the bed, like, and I was like, is she gonna be bald soon? I was like, I don't want to go out with someone that's, bald. I don't want to go out with a bald woman, alright? Nothing against illness or whatever, so what am I getting myself into here? But I don't want to go out with a bald woman, okay? It's not my style. Maybe some people would. Maybe you have granddad issues or something, I don't know, and you like bald women. I don't know. Skunk and Nancy. She was a good bald singer. What other bald women? Sinead O'Connor. Things didn't work out too well for her, actually. But there has been many attractive bald women, and I'm just not into it. And her hair was coming out all over my bed, so... Her hair was coming out all over my bed. That was for the Americans. Sorry if I'm speaking too quickly. Anyway, don't like dancing. It's weird. I'm not a dancer. Of course, I don't know if many Irish people are dancers. Irish dancers are dancers, obviously, but I don't know if, particularly Irish men, we're not known to dance, are we? Michael Flatley. Weird. Good at dancing, but apart from that, the rest of it, I don't know him, okay? My barber, Ian, he does a bit of break dancing. That's cool. Still weird, but it's... Well, I'm not saying he's weird. It's really cool, like, because he's cool. Jiving is actually good. The Wild West Country Fest in Galway is on every year. I think they changed it to the Wild West Music Fest. I think they pigeonholed themselves to country music, so now they've changed the name of it. But jiving is the currency there, let me tell you. I've been to that fest a few times. It's a massive tent in Kilconnelly, Galway. Near about 5-6 miles outside Tuam, County Galway. Every year there's some great artists on there. And then you go to Blake's pub for a few pints after. Shout out to Blake's. Shout out to all the Burns. Ollie, Pat, all the lads. Finian, legends. But anyway, jiving is the currency in that tent at that time of year. Jiving is a big industry now in Ireland. Not an industry, but people love it. And a girl came over to me outside the tent. Must have been looking sharp that night. And she's like, oh, what's your name? Where are you from? Sorry, I don't know what accent I'm doing there. It's a generic one. But she was very, very beautiful. Anyway, she comes over to me and she's like, oh, where are you from? I said, Dublin. Can you? And she's like, oh, and how long are you in Galway for? I said, I'll come here all the time. I don't. But then she was like, can you dance? I said, I can't. I'd love to learn though. And then off she went, never to be seen again. Some fella swept her off her feet then with a bit of jiving. Well, I can't jive, not a good dancer. I'd say it probably goes down to that. I'm probably just bitter at people that can dance because I'm too much of a lump, an awkward lump to dance, and I don't have the confidence. That's probably the real problem here. So, yeah. Whoever was giving out at the start, when I started giving out about dancing, you were probably right. It's me. It's not dancing. That's the problem. But it is weird sometimes. There's a big thing on TikTok now of really, really fat people dancing all the time, which is crazy to me. How do they move like that? there's a fella with a massive belly, like, and really fat arms, and you can't see his eyes, you know, and people are so fat that their eyes shrink into their head, but he dances amazingly. It's just incredible. He's so buoyant and versatile, and his movements are so quick. I couldn't do it. Well, I never tried. We don't express ourselves enough in Ireland as kids, I think. That's the problem. Blame the church. That's what I say. Yeah, so that was it. It was very interesting to be in Linz in the Charlie Chaplin lookalikes. In the Charlie Chaplin lookalikes' favourite city, as they call him. Saw the balcony where he did a big speech to 60,000 people. That was interesting. It's a lovely place, Linz in Austria, by the way. I'd highly recommend going. Couple of hours train ride from Vienna, but well worth it. So I'll have to remind you again, if you wouldn't mind following on Spotify, rate 5 stars. It's because Spotify keeps telling me to tell you, so I'll just tell you. It would be great to get the following up. I think I'm at 198 followers now. Let's get her up to 200, guys. Come on, let's do it. Let's go. Appreciate you all listening and watching. Thank you very much. I don't know what this episode has been, but I'm sure I said a lot of really stupid things. But I'll tell you what, I believe them, and I meant them. So that's how it goes. Whoever's still listening or watching, thank you. A few people might have ducked out when I started saying weird stuff. I don't know how it all works. But next Tuesday, I have a guest. It's Friday. It's basically Friday now. I'm having a guest over on Sunday. It's gonna be a surprise, but he's very funny, very interesting, and you're gonna love it, I hope. So, if you do follow, you'll get updated on that. You'll get notifications on new episodes. I put new episodes out every Tuesday and Friday, 5 a.m. And I am very, very tired from all the travelling and comedy at the moment. But if you think for 1 second that I'm going to miss an episode, you've got another thing coming. I would not do that to you guys. I'm here for you. And you're here for me. And I love you. All the best. See you again soon. Hope you enjoyed it. Good luck. This is the Dan Stevens Show.